Hello, my name is Bob, and I'm a tutor at Raritan Valley Community College's Academic Support Center. This is the first of a series of videos about the TI-83 and TI-84 graphing calculators. The TI-83 and TI-84 are graphing calculators used in most college-level courses at Raritan Valley Community College, including pre-calculus. These videos are organized into sessions and modules. Each session consists of a series of modules, and each module is a separate podcast. Podcasts can be viewed online at the Raritan Valley Community website shown below on your screen, or on a DVD available at the Academic Support Center. At the end of this module, you should be familiar with the layout of the calculator, including the keyboard and the cursor. You'll learn that each key can perform multiple functions. You'll become familiar with the home screen and how to get to it. You'll be able to use the results of prior calculations with the answer function. You'll be able to edit a calculation and a prior calculation. You'll be able to understand syntax errors and how to fix them, and you'll understand the order of operations, or PEMDAS. Open your calculators and look at the keys. Notice that each key on the calculator can perform up to 3 different functions. The primary function is written directly on the key. These include the numbers 0 to 9, the basic arithmetic functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and many menu functions. Other menu functions are color-coded and written above the key. The color code varies slightly between the TI-83 and the TI-84. On the TI-84, the secondary function, or second function, is written in blue, slightly above and to the left of the key. The third function, an alpha function, is written in green, above and slightly to the right of the key. To use a second function, you would first press the blue second key, and then if you wanted to get the letter pi, you would press the caret key and you would be able to see the letter pi. Some calculations require letters, particularly as you'll see in later modules, the letter x. If we need to get an x, we would press first the alpha key, followed by the stow key, which is where the x is. There's another way you can get x. You can also get x by pressing this key called x, t, theta, and n. Based on the context of the problem that your calculator is working on, it knows whether it wants an x, t, theta, or n. Let's try an example. Suppose we wanted to calculate the area of a circle of radius 5. To get to the home screen, first we're going to press second quit. All right. To clear the home screen, we press once to clear the most current line, and a second time to clear the entire screen. Now we're going to enter the calculation. We press second pi, and notice that the pi is right above the caret key or up arrow key, times 5, up arrow, 2, and then we press the enter key. And we can see that the result of the calculation is 78.5 and change. There's another way we could have done this calculation. Again, we start with second pi, which is on the caret key. We're just going to hit 5. This is implicit multiplication. The calculator understands that when you have a character times a numeral, that you're trying to do multiplication. And then we hit the x squared key. If we hit enter, we get exactly the same calculation, 78.5 and change. Many times the calculator has multiple ways of doing exactly the same thing. This is just one of them. We're going to pause for a second and let you try this on your own. Welcome back. I hope you got the same answer that I did when you tried the calculation. Now let's try something else. We're going to try editing calculations. All right? Let's go and we're going to clear the screen. Clear it once, and if it didn't clear your entire screen, you may have to clear it a second time. And let's enter the equation 5 plus 6 plus 7. All right? Now suppose we wanted to have that as 5 minus 6. Well, rather than retyping the entire line, we can go in and use our cursor key to move over top of the plus sign, and then hit a minus sign and just replace it right in place. Plus enter, and we get the new calculation for 6. Now suppose we wanted to change that entire line again. Well, we've already used that line and we want to bring it back. One way to bring it back is we can press second and the enter key, and it brings back the previous calculation. Now, suppose we wanted to make that previous calculation not 5 minus 6 plus 7, but 5 minus 16 plus 7. we move the cursor back over the 6, and now we want to insert a 1 in front of the 6. And the way we do that is press second insert, and then the 1. Notice that when we pressed the insert, the cursor changed from a flashing black box to a flashing underscore. Okay. Now if we hit enter, we have the result of our new calculation, -4. Okay. Now suppose we wanted to go back to our original calculation. We can again hit second enter, bring back the old calculation, move our cursor back over the 1, and this time we're going to delete the 1, which is the delete key, D-E-L. Okay, and we're back to our original calculation. We're going to pause for a second and let you try this on your own. Let's try a simple example. Suppose we wanted 6 plus 3 divided by 5. Well, we would hit 6 plus 3 and then the enter key, and we'd get 9. Then if we hit the divided by key, notice the word answer comes up followed by a divided by sign. It brought the answer down from the prior line. So now we can just hit 5 after that, press enter, and we get the answer 1.8. Suppose we needed the answer at a place other than the beginning of the next line. Let's try the problem 5 divided by 6 plus 3. Well, let's start by calculating the denominator first. 6 plus 3 equals, and we hit the enter sign and we got 9. And now we want 5 divided by, and we need to bring the answer back. We can hit second and the opposite of key for answer, and notice that the answer comes back, and then we hit the enter key and we get the result 0.555555555. Why don't you try that on your own? Let's try another example. Suppose we wanted to add 5 plus 7 and divide it by -6 plus 2. Well, we'd clear the calculator screen, and then we'd hit 5 plus 7 divided by -6 plus 2. And we press the enter key and we get a syntax error. Now we've got to figure out what we've done wrong. Okay. Notice that there are two options underneath syntax. One is quit and the other is go to. We can use our cursor and move it down to the go to line, press the enter, and it will take us to the area where the calculator thinks there's a problem. And notice that it's highlighted the minus sign. Well, on the TI-83 and TI-84 calculators, there's a difference between a negative sign or an opposite of sign and a subtraction sign. The opposite of sign is the white key at the bottom of the calculator right next to the period. It's right here, as opposed to the subtraction key, which is a gray key and is shown up there. After we've moved over and changed to the opposite of, we press enter and we get 5.83333333. Is that the answer you expected? Well, let's check it out. Well, 5 plus 7 is 12, and -6 plus 2 is -4, and 12 divided by -4 is equal to -3. And we got 5.8. What happened? Well, the TI-83-84 calculators assume that you know some of the basic rules of math. Do you remember PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally? In basic math, we remember that parentheses come first, then exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. Well, the calculator also has its set of rules. Calculations within parentheses are evaluated first. Then there's a priority level for all of the different math functions. First come functions that precede the argument, such as absolute value or square root. Then come functions that are entered after the argument, such as the squared sign, the inverse sign, or factorial. Then come powers and roots using the up arrow, such as 2 raised to the 5th power. Then come multiplication, implied multiplication, and division. Addition and subtraction are next. Then relational tests, such as equals, not equals, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. Then the logical operator and the logical operator or XOR. Within a priority level, these functions are evaluated from left to right. Let's try some specific examples. So let's go back and fix that last problem. We're going to begin by editing it, and we're going to have to bring the problem back. And you remember the way to do that is press second entry. Now we're going to scroll over top of the 5. We're going to hit second insert and put in a left parentheses. We're going to scroll on top of the divided by sign, hit second insert again, and put in a right parentheses. Scroll over the opposite of sign, second insert one more time, put in a left parentheses, and then scroll to the end and simply add a right parentheses. We're going to press enter, and we get the answer -3, just as we expected. Let's try a couple more examples. Suppose we had 8 divided by 4 times 2. We get the answer 4. But if you think about that question, did we want 8 divided by 4, or did we want 8 divided by 4 times 2? Notice that if we wanted 8 divided by 4 times 2, we would have to put parentheses in to force that calculation. Let's go back and edit that. We'll hit second enter, which brings the line back. We'll move our cursor over top of the 4. We'll hit second insert. We'll put in a parentheses. We'll move to the end and put in a final parentheses, and then hit enter. And notice that 8 divided by parentheses 4 times 2 is 1. The order of operations is extremely important in getting the calculation that you want. If you're not sure that the order of calculations is going to work out exactly the way you want, put in the extra parentheses and force the calculator to do what you want. Let's try another example. Suppose we had 16 up arrow 3 to the power of 3 minus 1. We hit enter and we get 4095. Well, is that what we wanted? Or again, if we wanted the other calculation, 16 raised to the second power 3 minus 2, we could edit that, second entry, come back in again and move our cursor over top of the 3, second insert a parentheses, go to the end and put in another parentheses, and we get a completely different answer. Why don't we pause for a second to give you a chance to try some calculations on your own. Welcome back. Let's review what we've learned in this module. First, we learned about the keys, that there are up to 3 functions per key. We learned that there's the xt, theta, and n key if you needed to use an x. We learned about subtraction versus the opposite of. And we learned how to move the cursor around on the home screen. We learned how to get to the home screen by pressing the second quit. And we learned how to clear the home screen by pressing the clear key. We learned about answer and second answer so that we could carry a calculation from one line of the home screen to another. We learned about second entry so that we could bring a prior calculation back and modify it if we needed to. We learned how to edit a line by either using second insert or delete. We learned about syntax errors and how to correct them, and we learned about the order of operations, or PEMDAS. This concludes Module 1. Current students at Raritan Valley Community College can get additional support by coming to the Academic Support Center. The Academic Support Center is open during most school hours, and you can check the hours by going to the web, www.raritanval.edu, and looking under the tab Current Students, and under Academic Resources, look for the Academic Support Center. The Academic Support Center offers a wide variety of tutoring assistance from math and English to the sciences and various humanity courses. The Academic Support Center is there to help you.